Am I live? I can't tell. I don't have the stream up. Okay, cool. I'm good to go. Okay. We're doing this. What? Yeah, yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're live, too. Yeah, you can commentate if you like. Okay, we'll just start. Okay, Harvest Moon, Save the Homeland. Speedrun. This is one of 9 alternate endings. If you've never played this game, you really should. This is one of the games, Harvest Moon games, people don't really like because there's no, you can't actually marry in this game. No waifus, I know. But it's okay. This is still one of the waifu endings. We'll be doing Azure Swallowtail. Wait, when do I count down? Am I good to count down? Yeah, so it's PS2. I am playing on emulator, but thank you for the good luck. Just let me know if I can count down. Sorry, I don't have the stream open because I don't want to tank my connection. Okay. We'll count down. I'm using my timer as well, but okay. 3. Oh wait, shit. Get to the main. Oh no, there's waifus in it. You just can't marry them. Hey Mizara, what's up? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Okay. So luckily one of the things that makes this game good for speedrunning actually among Harvest Moon games is you can skip all the cutscenes. So it's a little bit confusing to watch because focus of the game is basically to trigger a bunch of cutscenes in order to get to the ending, to trigger the credits, obviously. But you don't actually see any of the cutscenes, so it's kind of hard. It can be hard to follow as a viewer. The only cutscene you can't skip is the last one, which is kind of the finale cutscene or whatever. Anyway, so in the intro, it's about 3 minutes long. It's pretty quick, but there is one relevant thing in the intro where the goddess will be asking us a few questions. It's like a personality test, and they influence the outcome of the game, basically. So we need to answer the questions in a specific way. Yeah, I was talking with Desert about this sort of recently. How actually I think it was in chat for the marathon chat, but the affection system is really kind of intricate in this game, so that's where a lot of the routing in the past few years has come into play, and how like the optimizations have come into play is just sort of figuring out the affection system a little bit more deeply, because there's a lot of variation. You know, most of the time you just have like, you know, your gift boost and your talk boost, but there can be a lot more variation in this game depending on the location of the conversation and depending on a couple other things. But at the same time, there is no marriage, so it's a little bit interesting because none of this would really be relevant in a casual playthrough, but it does factor into the math for speedruns. So of course I've worked out all the math in advance, so it's kind of not much to say about it here, but the first bit of the math is these questions. So she's going to ask us 3 questions, and there's two. Yeah, no, she's cute. There's 2 possible answers. What I call a positive and a negative answer. The default answer is positive. If you don't request, I'm pretty sure the game ends. I can't remember actually. To be honest, I haven't declined it in a while. But anyway, so you can answer all of them positively, all of them negatively, which would be the second response, or in a mixed fashion. So that means any combination of yes or no, of positive or negative. I just answered. Obviously, it's fastest to just answer one of them negatively. And depending on the way that you answer, each of the 3 patterns has a group of NPCs that gets plus 15 affection. So depending on the character that you're going to be befriending for the ending, in this case it's going to be Lila, the pretty girl, actually the pretty waifu. she gets plus 15. She's not the main one. She's just one of. But she's the one that we're using for this. So we walk outside to get the first cutscene, and this is kind of boring, but we are actually going to sleep until summer. This seems slower, but as you can see, sleeping is really fast in this game. It's about 2.5 seconds. So that's actually one of the benefits of it. It kind of opens up routing because it allows you to do things either early or later. And yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a couple more runs of this later. And sort of the non-linearity of the routing really shows in some of those later endings, because sleeping may take more in-game days, but it may turn out to actually be faster if you can more quickly access certain characters. In this case, by sleeping until summer, we get access to a gift that Lila prefers, so that means we have to give her fewer gifts, which means even though we're wasting time by sleeping, we're actually saving time by giving her a better gift. I know, yeah, so we're wasting time by sleeping, but she prefers the pink flower. So, hang on, I just gotta make sure I hear the summer music, because we're sleeping until summer 1. Okay, there we go, summer 1. Okay, so this is where I kind of have to pay attention, sorry. Okay. Okay, so I'm following my notes. I kind of rerouted some. Didn't really reroute this, but I rewrote the notes because they were a bit confusing before. But okay, so we're gonna grab 2 of these, and then we're gonna Kurt. Oftentimes you really only need to befriend one of the villagers, but in a couple of the endings you need more than one. And in this case, we need Lila as well as Kurt. So Kurt doesn't really need much, but he actually needs a few gifts. So he actually does like flowers. He acts like he doesn't like flowers, but we know he does. So. And this is where luck comes. Oh, perfect. Good luck. Okay, yeah, this is kind of a reset heavy. If you want to do like serious attempts at this category, it can be a little bit tricky because it's heavily dependent on RNG. Yeah, okay, that's not the thing. Most Harvest Moon games, the forageable items appear consistently, and they always appear in the same spot, for example, and they appear every single day. In this game, there's actually growth cycles for the forageables, and the initial arrangement is random. So, so you can actually, it could be that there's no pink catmint flowers there. So that pink flower is the one that only grows in, well, it grows in summer and fall, but it doesn't grow in the spring. I miss Lila, I'll be damned. Okay, that's fine. That's okay, so we're gonna wait about 15 seconds here, unfortunately. Normally we would try and catch her. Dang it. Okay, so I guess I should only grab 1 of the other berries. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit here for this door to open. Normally I would try to catch her as she's coming inside, but that's okay. We already came all the way here. So it takes about 15 seconds after she enters we're going to introduce ourselves. So an intro is treated separately from a normal conversation, and every NPC has a different intro boost. Lila is, I believe, 10, and then a gift that somebody likes is +4, but a preferred gift is +6. Oh, what's up, SS? You made it. SS made it to the party. Okay, so now we're gonna go sleep. So we grabbed 3 of those. Okay. Okay. So the good thing about this too is that another feature of this game that's unique is that there's really a lot of ideas that they tried in this game that they kind of never tried again, and one of them is the sort of the weather system. There's a rainy season, a mild season, and a dry season, and during the dry season you can't get rain at all. So, you know, traditionally rain is kind of a tricky issue in Harvest Moon speedrunning, because if you get rain, then you can't access an NPC until whatever building they're in opens up. And so for Lila, that would mean that we can't talk to her until her shop opens up. Kurt's also convenient because he's here on Thursdays. So we're able to, he's technically right next to Lila. Anyway, so, but during the dry season, you can't get rain at all. So the first 3 days of, actually first 4 days, I think, of summer are in the dry season, so we're guaranteed to be able to get to Lila there. Yeah, so during the rainy season, it's like 80% to rain, and usually the rainy season is about 5 days or 6 days, depending on whether it's what season of the year it's in. But we slept through the rainy season, through the spring rainy season. Okay, so now this is spring 3, and so now we're going to trigger the first cutscene. You're not going to see it, but we will end up triggering it. So we're going to talk to Kurt one more time, and we're going to give him a gift here. So the reason that I don't put it in my, see, I'm playing on keyboard, so it's a little bit tricky. I didn't have a chance to set up the controller. Okay, so now we're gonna go check the, yeah, it does show on the calendar as well, yeah. And it's always consistent, so. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do another forage. But that's okay. Normally, optimally, I would do this in 2 forages. But, so now I got 3, 5. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is first cutscene. You can tell that the cutscene started because the music stopped. And I just hold start and it skips. So unfortunately, again, like I said, you don't really see it, but so hopefully I can get to Lila before she goes inside. This is one ending that's quite optimized, and it's also quite luck based because of I'll explain that later. What comes up later is we're kind of depending on the weather a little bit. Okay, we missed her again. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, with proper movement, you can really drop the frames. Should be 23. Okay, so sorry. This is the second cutscene, so actually we had to enter today anyway. Okay, unfortunately it kicks us back out after that cutscene. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to kind of I haven't done this ending in a while, but dang it, the doors are a little bit finicky. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to. These are actually. This is one that I really recommend if you're interested in Harvestman speedrunning. This is actually it's not. It definitely has its problems from a casual perspective, but it's definitely interesting as a speedrun. So this is gonna be Saturday the 4th, and I need to keep track of the day of the week. That's another major kind of time save in this run if you're trying to. Play it at a higher level is to make sure that you always keep track of the day of the week. The day of the week is always consistent because you're always playing through the same year because it's only a 1 year plot basically. So each of the 9 endings will always take place in the same year. So it's kind of nice because even though there's no on-screen HUD to show you the day of the week, you can still keep track of it pretty well. There's various clues that can tell you what day of the week it is if you lose track. That's something I'll probably talk about in the other ones. But okay, so we're done gifting Kurt. Now we're just gonna gift Lila every day, and we do depend on rain a little bit. I would reset over rain in attempts, but of course this is a marathon. So tomorrow is Sunday, so that's her day off. So we're gonna skip tomorrow. That's okay. It's raining anyway. If we get rain, we'd rather it be on a Sunday. And this is this is one ending where it's unique in that you can actually lock yourself out of it. You need to finish it by the end of summer. And, but actually that means that you only have until about halfway through summer because you need to trigger one of the later cutscenes by the 15th of summer. Otherwise, there's not enough time to. Oh dang! Well, okay, that rain was not perfect. I actually could have used that Sunday, but that's okay. That's 5 gifts for her. So this will actually wrap up pretty quickly. we'll see how this works. So let's see, that was Sunday, this is Monday. And I haven't wasted any days yet, so you have 4 days to lose, up to 4 days, until we start losing time by trying to enter her shop on a rainy day. Tuesday, okay, geez, we're doing good. Good luck here. In this game, best waifu is probably... I like Gina. I'll actually be doing Goddess Dress ending later. The schedule says Fishy Story, but I'm going to do Goddess Dress instead. Okay, good. No, I actually have this. Okay, so the way the math works out, you can actually give her one... The very is a gift that she just kind of likes. It's not her preferred gift, but she can. The way the math works out, that's it makes no difference whether you give her 8 preferred gifts or 7 preferred gifts plus a regular gift. So I just grabbed. This is Wednesday, and we know it's Wednesday because Gina will be standing right here, and Parsley will be walking out of Ronald's shop. So that's one way that if you're leaving your farm, as long as you know you need to leave your farm, you can get an idea of what day of the week it is, as long as you know what to look for. Lewis is also here on Wednesdays. And again, we're just gonna grab them. I think we just need 2 more. Pretty sure we just need 2. I'm gonna grab 3 though, just because I redid the math and I found out that my original notes were wrong, which means I either need to kind of re-examine my last PB for this. I might have given her an extra gift. I don't think, yeah, I'm not sure, but in my PB, but I just have an extra gift just in case. I'll probably take a safety save just to make sure, because like I said, if you lock yourself out of the ending, you're screwed. It cannot be completed. So. I'll make sure I don't do that. But so far we've gotten good. We haven't lost a single day, and we have up to 4 we can lose. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. So another key, kind of interesting thing is, like I was saying earlier, the location that a character is in affects their affection boost from a conversation, and this is the only game that I know of where their walking state, so she's walking from her garden to the inside of her shop, is treated as a unique location state, basically. So in that state, she actually only gets a +2 for a conversation. But the way the math works out, that's okay. And didn't lose anything for that. I need to get her to 100 affection, and honestly, I'm completely fine. So this is what? This is Thursday the 11th, I think? Yeah, it's Thursday because Kurt's there. And the first Thursday was... Oh, no. This is Thursday the 9th, I'm sorry. Let's make sure I don't want to drop this. Okay. So again, Wednesday, the first of summer is a Wednesday, so that means the second summer is a Thursday, which means this is the 9th. Thursday, yeah, the 9th. So basically, I'll just keep gifting her. Yeah, this will work out fine. I'll just keep gifting her until I get the cutscene. So I should get the cutscene either tomorrow or the next day. This is the 10th. Yeah. Boom. I'm actually just gonna double check just to make sure. Okay, and this is the 10th. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm actually going to save. Just going to save, just because if I mess this up, then it's over. There's really no reason to save, but if I get locked out, I'm screwed. So. Okay, so the 18th. This will be the cutscene where she gives us the. Yeah, there was no reason to save. Well, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. That's the cutscene where she gives us the blue mist flower. So again, you missed all the cutscenes, but essentially this is the ending. It's similar to the blue mist subplot in 64. You can think of a lot of these endings kind of as photos almost from 64, right? They're just a little bit more, maybe a little bit more involved in terms of the cutscene. Actually, I'm not even sure. There's definitely a lot of depth to the photos in 64. Some of them are easy to get. In fact, the blue mist, if I remember, in 64 is one of the easier ones to get. And I should have one. I sure do. Yeah. So okay, I did the math correctly because I blew my throat. So every time you enter the goddess area, you get this cutscene. So I'm just holding start right now. You're not going to see the cutscene, but every time you enter the goddess pond for the first time in any year, basically, you get a cutscene. Okay. So yeah, but this ending is not only the blue mist itself, but it's about a butterfly that only comes is attracted only by the blue mist flower. So yeah, the initial cutscene is Kurt telling you about it, and then Lila kind of joins in, and then you keep gifting Lila, and then she says she'll talk to Parsley, and then Parsley comes on that last cutscene and gives you the Okay, so but here's where the luck comes in. In an optimal run, we actually get rain on the next 2 days. So we did this in such a way, not only does summer give us access to the pink catmint, but it also has a longer rainy season. Instead of 5 days in the spring rainy season, it's 6 days in the summer rainy season. It's very long to walk all the way to the blue mist, so we like rain. Didn't get rain. Okay, so basically, the spring rainy season or the summer rainy season starts on the 21st. We plant on the 18th, and then obviously we have to water on that day. And then we want the next 8 days to be rain. So, but the 19th and the 20th are still the mild season, so it's still not guaranteed to rain. It's only like 50-50. Even in the rainy season, it's not guaranteed to rain, but it's quite likely. So if you're trying to get, this is why this ending is a little bit reset heavy. If you're trying to get like the run, you basically have to reset for 2 consecutive rainy days on the 19th and the 20th in the mild season. So that's okay. For the purposes of this run, we're just going to walk all the way there. Yeah, so in my I think in my any percent PB, I do have, but in my new game plus PB, I only got rain on one of the days, and it loses quite a bit of time. I mean, you can see it's about, I think it's like 2.5 minutes to go all the way from your house to the blue mist and then water it. But I really recommend even just playing through this game once casually. It kind of loses some of its casual value once you've played it a lot, and especially once you've beaten all the endings. It's not one of those Harvest Moon games that you enjoy just by playing indefinitely. Let's see, rain. Nope. That's fine. So it's not like Harvest Moon 64 or like Friends of Mineral Town or something like that, but it's definitely the reason why I think it's valuable is because it's kind of its own thing. Hero of Leaf Valley is definitely like the definitive version of this formula because they basically added marriage, they added a bunch of other kind of more depth to the just sort of the concepts that they explored in this game. It does have a couple drawbacks when it comes to speedrunning, which is why I'd love to see more people get into this game for the purposes of speedrunning, because it really does have, it has, I think, the number one key to a good Harvest Moon speed game, maybe not the number one, but one of the best features or qualities is fast sleeping. If you can sleep very quickly, then you can take advantage of kind of some non-linearity in routing by delaying certain things, by costing yourself a little bit of time for sleeping, but which is basically the basis of this route. I only heard bad things about this game when I was kind of growing up as a Harvest Moon player. Okay, so the next 6 days should be rain. It's really bad luck if we. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, but it is certainly bad luck if we. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow! Seriously? Okay. So again, this is just pure time loss. This is still the rainy season, but we ended up getting no rain. So pretty unfortunate luck on the rain there. But that's okay. Gives me more time to talk about this also. So yeah, the key is, of course, like I said, that we're using the rainy season to water the blue mist. And actually, credit to Endless Nightmare, I think is his full tag, Japanese runner who actually motivated me to, because he took the record in this game using the summer route and also got perfect rain luck as well. But he's the one who kind of came up with the summer route. So credit to him. I literally didn't think of it. Which is another reason why I want more people to run this game, because I have done the large majority of the routing. The brightness in this game is bad. I could probably change the settings, maybe on PCSX, I'm not sure, but but the default brightness for this game is low for some reason. Yeah, in the winter especially, when it's darker in the morning, it's like crazy how dark it is. So you might see that later in a couple of the other runs. Yeah, if you'd like to, that's okay. And it's okay now. You probably might want to do that for my runs later, because... Okay, so now we need to just trigger the last few cutscenes. And this is why we have to do... basically, there are sometimes affection requirements for cutscenes, but there are occasionally additional requirements, such as a certain number of days have to pass. So in this case, we trigger this cutscene on the day that the flower blooms, but then the next cutscene, we have to wait at least 3 days. And so we're triggering this on the 27th, which means the soonest we can trigger the next cutscene is the 30th, and that's actually the final day that we can trigger the second to last cutscene. And so that means that it has kind of sort of a domino effect, if you will, on the rest of the cutscenes going back, and it sort of sets the final deadline for finishing with Lila to the 14th of summer. I think it was Endless Nightmare, but maybe it's Endless XX now. So yeah, so now we'll sleep 3 times, trigger the second to last cutscene. But anyway, yeah, so I've done the vast majority of routing for this game. There's been a number of people who have come in and helped with a few endings. Soren on Bluebird, Endless on Azure Swallowtail. 1, 2, 3. And then O'Malley actually did discuss some Endangered Weasel with me, which was useful. So there's all kinds of people, but usually there hasn't been anybody who's really run. Oh no, actually also Pete did a quick stint in Horse Race. Endless is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so again, we're triggering these cutscenes. You don't see them, but they are triggering. Well, it's one thing that actually kind of makes it scary, because if you're not confident that you trigger the cutscene, then if you just hold start, occasionally I'll just let the cutscene play for half a second and then skip it, just so I know for sure that I skipped it. 1, 2, 3, 4, to sleep a week, and then it has to be no rain, and then the final cutscene. So again, this is kind of butt clench. I'm like, you don't really know that you've triggered the cutscenes. I'm confident that I did, but if for some reason I didn't, then this is rip. But yeah, I did save, but yeah. Yep. Oh, see? Okay, so there you go. So this cutscene I can't skip. But, anyway, yeah. So this one's pretty straightforward, but I would say this is probably one of the best endings to get into as kind of an intro to Save the Homeland speedrunning, because it's easily the most straightforward, easy to push if you really want to, reset and reset for the luck, but also it's also an ending where, if you look into the routing, it can help you understand sort of some of the principles behind the affection system and things like that. So this was overall pretty well played, I would say. Just some bad rain. Fishes. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be doing Fish's story later. I did derust it, but I never got the controller working. I might be able to get it working in the time between this and my runs later. If I don't, it's not the end of the world, but Fishy story is just, yeah, Fishy story is tough. I wanted to show it, but the runs that I'll be showing are fun anyway. So traditionally time stops after, so there's a cutscene, there's a final cutscene, the fanfare cutscene, and then there's the credits, and then there's always a post-credits cutscene. Traditionally, the timing ends after the post-credits cutscene. If you guys want to cut now, that's fine. But there's just going to be another cutscene after this, and then time will stop at the end of that, but it's up to you. But I'm glad I derusted this, because I got to kind of just fill in a quick gap, and this is a fun one. Okay, cool. So we'll just watch these. I'm trying to think what else I can say. I do feel like there's kind of an ending for everybody. There's some that are really straightforward, like this, where it is literally just gifting the same NPC over and over. But some of them, the routing gets a little bit more intricate. I'm going to be doing cake contests later, which I think is the ones that I submitted. I think are kind of some of the more interesting ones. And even though I'm not going to do Fishy story, I'm going to be replacing it with some of the more interesting endings. And specifically with cake contests, there's some stuff to talk about regarding some different routing options. I'm going to be doing kind of a marathon safe route, but right before a couple months ago, I came up with an alternate route that's much more reset heavy. And that's kind of what you see a lot of times in this game is the optimal route might be kind of reset heavy, but there's usually an alternative that's not too much slower, and also it's helped by the fact that the runs are all pretty much within about an hour. So they're short runs, they're not technically demanding, so resetting is chill, and I think it's fun, just kind of relaxing Harvest Moon game. I would say that's typical for most of Harvest Moon, as long as you're not doing the BTN dupe. Most of it is pretty pretty relaxing. So yeah, so I want to do all endings maybe this year. I have done all endings. All endings, there's a couple holy grails for this game that I could genuinely use other people to help with, just to collaborate. So all endings and all endings New Game Plus. A New Game Plus just means that you can bring whatever kind of items or money into it as you want. New Game Plus all endings might actually be more interesting to route. I kind of want to do that. I almost want to do that first, to be honest, because that eliminates a lot of the hassle. And it also would be a lot faster. So yeah, so here's Lewis being a simp. Can I say that on Twitch now, or is that... I think this cutscene is different depending on your affection with Lewis. I can't remember. Oh, I forgot there's no text. Okay, cool. So time ends now. Okay, so you guys can pass it on, though. Thanks, and I'll be playing again later.